not the best of me. We're a little messed up, baby, kinda up and down, and we keep falling till we hit the ground, but then we get back up again. Yeah, we're a little messed up, baby, it's never getting boring when we keep aiming for the stars, just you and me. We always get back up again. You and me. Baby, you and me. There is no one else that can make me feel like I can do anything I dream of but you. We can fight all day and make love at night, 'cause we always figure it out, don't we? Yeah. Yeah, we're like the waves on a big blue stormy sea. We're a little messed up, baby, kinda up and down, and we keep falling till we hit the ground, but then we get back up again. Yeah, we're a little messed up, baby, it's never getting boring when we keep aiming for the stars, just you and me. We always get back up again. You and me. You and me. Baby, you and me. You always leave me wanting more. Baby, you and me were like the perfect storm, and you know that I can't get enough of you, no. Yeah, we're a little messed up, baby, kinda up and down, and we keep falling till we hit the ground, and then we always get back up again. We're a little messed up, baby, kinda up and down, and we keep falling till we hit the ground, but then we get back up again. Yeah, we're a little messed up, baby, it's never getting boring when we keep aiming for the stars, just you and me. We always get back up again. You and me. You and me.
Well, it's Monday night. Wow, that was fun. Yeah, I just barely got everything working before hitting the go live button. Hold on, just 1 second. Hopefully, yeah, it looks like everything's going. Yeah, a lot of fun. I'm telling you, it's been one of those days, folks. One of those days. I don't know what happened to my camera there. Everything kind of froze up on me on that back camera, the fancy camera, which is not supposed to do that. So here's another issue I have to troubleshoot a little later, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. Hopefully, you guys can hear me okay. I've got this new mic set up and this whole new audio set up, and it's just sometimes I wonder. It's probably just I think Ben has it right. Put a phone up, hit record or hit go live, and let her rip. Because when you start adding all these other things in the live stream, everything just I don't know. It never fails. There's always something that goes crazy. But regardless, I guess I can't blame anybody but myself. I put myself through these scenarios. So let's see. So yeah, we are live tonight. It's Monday, September 16th. Hope everybody's having a good start to their week. Monday's always an interesting day for many folks. Let's see who we got. Who we got? We've got Dave R. Dave R. Okay, so I've got an issue with not Dave R. but with Quentin. Is Quentin in here? That son of a bitch. I wanted to see that unboxing live and everything, so I'm working away in here trying to get everything working for my live stream, knowing that at 6 o'clock I have to take a break from this and go to my YouTube feed and watch the live unboxing by Quentin. Well, I went there and it was already done. I guess I don't know what time he did it. I think he did it early because at 6 o'clock it wasn't live. It was there, but it wasn't live. And then I watched some of it, and I couldn't watch it all because of all this stuff that I was trying to figure out in here. But I missed it, so I don't know what happened. You guys gotta fill me in. I know there was supposed to be some surprise in the case and all these other things happening, and I missed it. So Quentin, I got a bone to pick with you, brother. Where are you? Anyway, Bam Aussie, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Late at night, where you are. Upside Down's in here. Brad Miller's listening while he's driving home. Drive safe, my friend. Guitar Hack, how are you? Hopefully this mic sounds okay. It's been quite the journey trying to get all this stuff set up, and I still don't have it properly set up. I had all these settings figured out yesterday, and I saved the file, and then I got home this afternoon after work, get everything booted up and ready to go, and for some reason the file didn't load because it lost the settings, so I had to reset everything. So I just kind of winged it. I don't know how good it's going to sound, but anyway, it never fails. You get everything perfectly the day before you go live, and then the day you go live, everything goes to shit. But whatever. Let's see. Guitar Hack, how are you? Oh, and by the way, if you haven't subscribed to Guitar Hack, go subscribe. He's trying to get to 1,000. But if you haven't subscribed to me, I was one away from 300 about an hour ago. I can't see it on my stream here where I'm at. But get me to 300. I just need one. Just one. So there you go. Todd Flowers. How are you, Todd? Scott Connor. How are you? Listen to some of the. I listened to most of the show this morning with Ladybug. I don't know if she's in here. And you guys are doing a good job as always. Always love listening in. I was at work, so I couldn't really chime in too much, but I always try to listen at least. Janice, how are you, Janice? Janice is still catching up on all her videos. Every time I see her in chat, she's saying she's watching videos or trying to catch up. It's hard. There's so many, man. It's like there's no way. There's no way you're going to watch them everything, especially with our community. Everybody's really close and everybody follows each other. Everybody wants to support each other. So there's so much content. And then you've got all the other channels that, the bigger, like Tone King and Steve from Boston and all these other guys that if you're accustomed to watching knows one. So now you gotta. There's just not enough time in the day to do everything. Chicken Guitars, wiping tears. Had to watch the go. Oh jeez, I gotta go watch it after this because, like I said, you guys screwed me. I thought I was gonna be on at 6 with everybody and watch it, but no, something happened. He went live before, and I wasn't paying attention to any of my stuff. I was hooking up wires and trying to figure out why things were sounding the way they were. Oh well, I'll have to go and check that out. I must have missed something good. Lars Guitars, how are you, Lars? Nice to see you. Let's see. Ben. Hey, Ben. If you haven't subscribed to Ben either, go subscribe to his channel. I know he's trying to get to 2,000 before Winter NAMM. Speaking of Winter NAMM, I put in a request today at work to see if I could attend because obviously I can do it through work as a learning audio seminars and stuff. So I don't know. We'll find out. I guess I'll find out in maybe this week, maybe not. Maybe it'd be a couple of weeks before they get back to me. But I submitted the request. Usually I submitted my request for the Vegas trip as well for April, which I always go to anyway, the big camera show. So I'll be doing that. But I might get to go to Winter NAMM. I'm hoping anyway. It'd be a nice experience. Paul Lou, what's going on, Paul? And just keep going down here. Wildflower, yeah. I don't know, man. I've been having issues hooking all this stuff up, and my iPhone I hook up through my mixer, and I play the jam tracks or songs that I jam to through the iPhone. But I don't know, something went kind of weird today. After I got home, I hooked everything up, and it sounded kind of weird in my headphones. I'll have to listen back to the live stream and see what's going on with it. But it is what it is. But hopefully it sounded okay. I was kind of not even paying attention to jamming. I was focusing on if everything was working. Then I saw my camera froze, and I was like, okay, do I stop and turn around? And it was just like, whatever. But hey, I still attempted. You got to attempt it and go with it, right? Johnny Bean, how are you, Johnny? Speaking of Johnny, well, I was going to get to that in the news. It's a Van Halen piece. I guess we can talk about it right now, but I don't know if you guys have seen that, but just this week, the full concert of 1978 Fresno concert for Van Halen. And if you haven't seen it, go on YouTube and type in Fresno concert 1978 Van Halen. I guess it was just a guy in the audience shot it back then, and it was just all completely restored. It's the quality's still, not bad for what it is. But man, those guys were so good back then. I mean, they were always good, but geez, I think that back then they were like, early 20s. I think it was their first album, 78. Yeah. So Eddie was just insane. Some of the best guitar playing I've ever seen. It's really, really good. So if you haven't seen it, I'm just going to check what it's, I think I had it saved in my bookmarks here. Just look for Van Halen in Fresno 1978. They had a few clips out there before, like, like a clip here, or like a piece of a song, whatever. But now they've got the full concert. It's I believe it's a 25-minute concert or so, and yeah, it's really good. It's really good. So if you haven't seen it, go check that out. So Johnny Bean just made me think of Van Halen when I see Johnny. He can play without moving. Yeah, that was my stupid camera. I don't know why it's doing that. It did that the other day too, and I've had it on now for a couple hours. I think after a couple hours I have to reboot it or something. But it shouldn't do that. I don't know. It's like anything, technology. Johnny Bean TV. Joe Hervey, how are you, Joe? Nice to see you in here. Wasn't really playing metal, more like image is still frozen. So okay, I'm just catching up here. Hopefully I'm not frozen anymore. He's alive. Good. Yeah, I'm back. Okay, Janice needs to move to play. The chat jumped on me here, so I might have missed some stuff. Oregon Steve, how are you? Ivan Carter, Butterfly and Ladybug Show. Sandra, how are you doing? I saw Eric Jr.'s video today. That was really good. nice editing and good quality video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Phil Mosley, how are you, Phil? Phil, I actually got a chance to do a jam of a backing track that Phil put together, and I did that on Saturday night. I think it was Saturday night or Friday night or something like that, and I released it the next day. But yeah, good stuff, good stuff. I'm looking forward to doing a few more. I was just going to go back to your channel and look at what else you've got up there that I might be able to attempt. Let's see, Sonia's in here. How are you, Sonia? Yes, Joe. If you've got a question for me or anything, just tag me in the chat so I'll see it, because you know I'm blind. Johnny's only small break between his gigs. Zach Thong, how are ya? All right, so I think Soda's in here too. Cool, Soda. I think I'm caught up. All right, just double check. Got people talking to each other there. R2, R3's in here. How are you, R2? And I saw Dr. Guitars earlier. I think I'm caught up here. So yeah, we've got an interesting show tonight if everything keeps functioning. I'm going to attempt some stuff, try to push this technology to the limits and see what happens. If it explodes or if it goes down, well, whatever, right? It's not the end of the world, right? If I lose the stream. All right, let me go back to my iPad for a second and check something. All right, that's cool. Okay, when I watch the previews, I pause it because I don't have that much bandwidth here. So as I'm live streaming, I just see if it works, and then I pause it because it's going to take up more bandwidth and can't afford it. Oh, there's Quentin, you son of a bitch. I'm going to have to go back and watch your live stream because you didn't stick with the schedule, brother. I was doing other stuff, and I didn't even notice you went live, and then I went at 6 o'clock to see it, and it was already done. Phil Mosley, looking forward to the next one. Thanks. Oh, yeah, no, thank you, man. Thank you. That takes a lot of work to do all that stuff. Eddie Van Haskell's in here. How are ya? Again, I just need one more sub for 300, so if you're not subbed, go do that so I can get that out of my head. When you get that close to like that round number, if you're OCD at all, it it plays with your brain. What I do now, Quentin, you know what you did. Brian, is there any gear you're looking at? You don't really use amps, pedal, etc. Are not high on the list. Your search if you want to spend some money. I'm not really looking at any gear right now. I just added some gear to the studio, so it's studio gear more than anything. And the plan is here, if everything is going to work, I'll do a little walk around with a mobile camera and show you where things are at. I did one about a year ago, kind of when I put the studio together back then. Kind of did a quick walk around and showed you the stuff, how it was set up back then, and it's quite different now. I mean, yeah, it's pretty different compared to the one we did about a year ago. So I'm going to walk through. I'll show you some of that gear that I got, the new stuff. Other than that, not really a whole lot of gear that's on my list. I got to pay for the stuff I've got, so I'm trying to slow down a little bit. I'm always looking for that Les Paul Custom if I ever see that deal. It's looking for a black one. Not really sure what it's going to be, if it's going to be a reissue or if I'm going to be able to find an actual 70s version or something like that. So I look every week. I go to my Reverb feed or I go to my Kijiji feed here in Canada and see what's out there. But I'm not ready to pull the trigger on anything right now, so it's more looking than anything. But that's really the only guitar that I've kind of got on my list. And an Andy Wood Telecaster, a Sir Telecaster. But I had a chance to buy one used that the Guitar Pit had bought, and he was selling, and I should have pulled the trigger on that one back, 6-7 months ago, because he was selling it at a good price. Now you can't find them for under $4,000 US, so it's or 35 US or whatever. So that's not going to happen. So, but those are kind of it. What mixer do I use, Paul? I use a Yamaha mixer, and I'll show you that as we do the tour in a few minutes. And it goes through some interfaces. Right now it's going through a Universal Audio Apollo Twin and then into a Focus, right? And there's a reason why I use two interfaces. Is that the other interface is only used for the streaming type of thing. It's really complicated because when you're playing stuff from your computer, it's going into an interface, into the streaming software, and then back out through your speakers. It gets a little complicated, so that's why you have to use the two interfaces. Or that's the way that I figured it out. There might be other easier ways to do it, but the Yamaha mixer is kind of the mixer that I use. It's called a MG12XU. So it's a 12-channel mixer. They're really good, and they're priced, very very well for what they are. They're not super expensive, and they work really well. Let's see, anything else here? Gomercaster Monday, yeah, Gomercaster. I gotta go. I'm gonna be watching the stream later because I missed it. There we go. Please leave a like. Thank you, Butterfly, Scott Connor. I knew that was coming. Upside down. Okay, we saw everybody. So, okay, I don't think there's any questions coming in here. Kijiji, Craigslist. That's our Craigslist here up in Ontario anyway. It's Kijiji. I don't know anybody that still uses Craigslist around here. But Quentin James, your blood pressure was too high to cry. Yeah. My blood pressure was too high when I went on, and the thing was already done because I was looking forward to that. It was all hyped up and everything. Thrash metal, Looney Toonies, how's it going, brother? Loonies and Toonies, yeah, that's our stuff. I have a Yamaha 10 channel with faders. They are great mixers. Yeah, I like the Yamaha stuff. They always make good quality stuff, and they're known for some really good mixers and studio gear. So. All right, let's see, what do we got? Run my PC audio into a stereo in and out, large interface for streaming. You can get a bit different when you need to adjust the setup for streaming. Yeah, there's different ways you can put the stuff together. I was just, the way that I had it currently set up before I got the Universal Audio thing, there's a few things I couldn't do, like if I wanted to bring up my Studio One software and do a live stream to show you guys, like actually track some stuff and you guys could hear the tracks without hearing all this echo and stuff. I had to kind of route it the way that I've got it now. So, but it's so complicated once you start running wires and trying to figure out if you're hearing a little hiss somewhere. Like even this mic here is a new mic and it's really, really good, but I'm still getting a little bit of hiss and I can't get rid of it. I can get rid of it if I bring down the gain a lot, but then the mic isn't loud enough. So there's still a lot of tweaking I got to do, but it's a learning thing. It's a good thing I enjoy this stuff. Like I like to learn and I like to jump into stuff that I'm not, 100% on, and I can, get myself there by trying different things. So I like that, but sometimes it's so frustrating, man. It's like, please just work. All right. Listen. We couldn't make the man wait. He was begging. Well, that's too bad. He should have waited. I'm sorry. 6 o'clock was the deal. Nobody told me. Nobody told me it was going to change, and I wasn't watching anything. I was on the road coming home from work at 3. By the time I got home, it was past 4, so I didn't check any internet or anything. Came into my office and started configuring all this stuff. Wasn't looking at anything. I saw I was getting close to 6 o'clock, so I said, okay, I'm going to take a break now and go have some dinner and watch Quentin. And I should have a sound effect thing. That's how I felt. All right, let's look at a few news. Oh, I don't even know if I want to do the news thing today. It seems like the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks, even when we do the news, there's not a whole lot of positive, or it seems sad. and this week is no different, and I'm sure you guys probably know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's look at it quickly, and then we'll get on to the studio tour. All right. It just sucks because, anyway, you'll see. Let me just do this, and all right. right, so now if this works, we should be able to see this. All right, that's going to change. That's going to change. There we go. And bring this browser a little bit more. Bear with me, folks. Still in the setup mode here. All right, this one and this one. So yeah, this week we lost another one, or another two of our rock star idols and cool guys. Eddie Money. He actually, I guess it was only a few weeks ago when he reported that he had cancer, and yeah, it didn't take long. And apparently, he died from pneumonia or something. They were going to do surgery for his cancer, and he got an infection and pneumonia, and that's what killed him. It's really, really sad. We lost another one at 70. So I don't know how many Eddie Money fans we have here, but well, everybody knows his songs. I mean, Two Tickets to Paradise. I think everybody and their sister knows that, right? Because it was super popular. And Eddie Money was actually when Eddie Money started, he was a New York City police officer, and I guess he was singing and doing some stuff on the side type of thing, and somebody apparently heard him and said you need to go record and do this, and I guess he took that advice, and the rest is history. But yeah, he was a cop. He was a New York City cop, and then he was famous Eddie Money. I think his last name was Eddie Mahoney. I think. Does it say here? I don't think Money was. Yeah, it was Mahoney, and yeah, he changed it to Money. Obviously, Eddie Money, which sounds better than Mahoney, I suppose. But yeah, that's another one. Another one we lost. It sucks these guys passed away. Yeah. And then just yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. I think it was the day before, September 15th. So yesterday this was posted, but I think most of you have heard now that Rick Ocasek from the Cars died at 75 years old. And I wasn't a huge Cars fan. I like a lot of their stuff. I mean, some of the stuff they wrote was amazing, and it's going to, it's timeless, really. But yeah, there's another guy that's gone, and it was it? I believe it was cancer, but I can't remember. Does it say? Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, we lost him. I think on Sunday or Saturday. I think it happened. Wow. Okay. The funny thing about I have a story about him, and kind of that I've he was I never met him, but I was in a conference room back in the 2000s. I think it was 2003 or 2004 up in Toronto. That's when we were doing the Smeer stuff, and Smeer was part of an entertainment agency just before we signed a couple of independent deals with a company from New York called Coalition Management. And Coalition Management was a big management company here in Toronto that managed Our Lady Peace, I Mother Earth, all these bands, right? Uh, and we had gotten called in to go to this meeting where it was more of an industry meeting to go meet some of the people. Coalition had brought us along. They were kind of shopping us, trying to get us, I guess, a better deal than the independents could offer. But anyway, we got there, and he was there. He was. I don't know the full story why he was there, and I was so clueless. Back then I wasn't really into the Cars, and I don't. If you're not into a band, you're not really following them. You don't know. Like, this guy could have walked right by me, and I wouldn't have even known who he was because I wasn't, paying that close of attention. I knew the Cars were, and I knew the songs, but as far as the people in the band, I wasn't I wasn't really aware, but he was there. He was part of that industry shindig that they were having, and that's my drummer had told me about it there. He said, "Do you know who that is?" And no, and so that's my little story about Rick Ocasek, that I actually was in a pretty close proximity, I guess you could say. But yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks that he's gone. That we're losing him at 75. That's my mom's age, and she's fingers crossed, she's gonna do well for a long time, I hope. But she's very active and does a lot of stuff. And at 75, like she does more, I guess, activities and things that I do. And she's 75. She takes Zumba classes and exercise things and goes walking every day. It's like insane, and she's okay. But it gets you to think we're all getting up there. So it's kind of scary. 75. I'm 50. So 25 years from now, I hope I'm still doing okay. You never know. So that's our news items. Let's go back to this camera here. Let me go to the chat. Shit, who's going next? Ozzy. I know, right? I heard Ozzy was still he was having some huge issues. I think even last week. So it's not a good thing. Not a good thing. I think we're going to start to see them go as we get older, and they obviously are older at 75 and 80 and stuff usually. At that age, or we're getting up there. Let's see what we got. Cars were awesome. Yes, they were. Guitar Hack says we were doing it for next gig as a tribute. Okay, cool. You're doing a Cars song? That'd be cool. I never played any of the Cars music, I don't think. Not that I can remember anyway. Eddie Van Askel saw Ozzy in 82. It was right after he bit the head off the cow. I thought it was a bath. And then it died. All the milk poured out of his neck. Oh my God. It was great. Had mechanical things on stage. Ozzy's like Queen Elizabeth. He'll never die. Ozzy's been through a hell of a life, man. Like, for the life of me, I can't believe he's still walking the planet. He's got some strong genes, man. All right, let's see. So what we'll do now is we'll do a little walkthrough of the current studio situation. Give you I won't go into super detail. If you do have questions, you can post them in the chat. If you see something as I'm showing it, and you want further information on it, I'll try to provide that to you. And but first off, let me see if I can get the remote camera going, because that'll be the key to doing this. Let's see if we go here and I do that. Does this work? Where are we? iPhone. Okay. Oh, look at that. Cool. All right. So the other thing I have to do is I have to put on this this mic here, because I'll be walking around and you won't be able to hear me. So the sound will change. This mic is from Rode. It's the little mini mics. They're really cool. They're small, but they sound very different than these things, obviously. But it'll do the trick for the walking around stuff, right? So just give me 1 second. Test. All right, so you should hear me, but it's gonna sound weird. So let me close this one. All right, test 1 2, test 1 2. All right, let me put this here. It's kind of weird, but hopefully you guys can still hear me. Sounds weird in my headphones. Let's see if this works here. Test 1 2, testing 1 2, test. Yeah, test. All right, move this mic out of here for a second. See if I can bring up this camera. You guys still with me here? He's hiding in the weeds. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I know it sounds probably weird. Test 1 2, test 1 2. But as long as you can hear me, I'm not really focused on the quality of the mic right now. I just want to, no mic for you, Brian. Sounds fine? Okay, cool. Let me go to that camera. Okay, Quentin, get ready to be amazed. If you were amazed with the other one. Before I do that, let me shut this guy off for a second and reboot, see what happens. All right, so let me cut here. Hello, you guys still with me, right? We got you. All right, let's go back over to the corner where everything, the hub and the brains of audio anyway. What happens when this is going? Well, before I do that, this camera's driving me nuts, so I'm just going to, I'm OCD with this stuff. If it doesn't work, I like to figure out why. Okay, cool. All right, so in this corner, this is kind of the door to the studio. And if you go out, I wonder if I go out here, if it'll work. I shouldn't push my luck. So if I come out here, you're right in my living room and kitchen. There you go, a little bird's eye view of my house. I want to see if I can go to the front yard with this thing. Hopefully I don't lose you. Here's the front yard. Pretty quiet. There's a porch, little table. All right. Back to the studio. Hopefully this thing, yeah, it's still working. Okay, I just want to test this stuff. Okay, so like I was saying, we got little speaker back there that doesn't really do anything at the moment. It used to be plugged in and it was kind of an audio source, but I don't use it anymore. I use my other monitors. Here's my little Metallica dude, a very old camera, film camera that I kind of have there as more of a, I guess, a knick-knack, which I'm not a big fan of, but I guess you could call it that. Here's Kirk and Jason. So basically, here's the board. So some of you guys were asking what board I was using. And I've simplified the setup as far as the inputs that are going into this right now. If you'll notice that input 1 is my main mic. That was the big mic that I was sitting at my chair at. And then the next mic over is this little Rode mic here. And that's plugged into channel 2. And basically I can control my levels from there. And then I have I have a DI from my bass that I can run through a DI box, and it's sitting over on my desk. And that's in one channel, and then my iPhone plug is right here. And that's taking up this channel, channel 7 and 8. It's a stereo channel. So hopefully that makes sense. My guitar goes into this first, which is a drop pedal. So when I hit that drop pedal, I can drop my tuning half step, full step, even further down if I want to. And that goes into another box that is on my desk here. It's called the headlight. And this box, basically you can plug all your inputs in there, and then if you want to mute one, so now everything is muted, but if I want to play guitar, HX is my helix, I just hit that, and then I can cycle through what I want to play, DI, bass, and when I had an amp, it was over here. So anyway, let's go to the interfaces. Here's the new interface. This is the Apollo Twin, and basically my mixer comes out into the Apollo Twin, and my helix goes directly into my Apollo Twin. So I don't use my helix through the mixer anymore. I just prefer going straight into there's less noise and less chance of having any peaks and stuff. So I run the helix at full volume, go into my Apollo, and then from the Apollo I can adjust all my levels and I can add plugins and all that fun stuff. Just underneath it is my old interface, is the Focusrite. And the reason I'm using that right now is I'm going out of here. There's an out, goes into here, So that's only one channel used there. And basically my live streaming software, which is this thing, you can see the audio meters there, and then my cameras and all that are here. All that this thing is receiving is the Focusrite. So everything's coming from the mixer going into the Apollo into the Focusrite, and then the Focusrite feeds everything into the live streaming software. And then I've got my monitors. These are the ones I use the most. These are the Yamaha YS5s, I believe is the model number. They are really, really good. If you're recording music, these are probably the way to go. They are, as far as price and quality, they are probably the best bang for your buck. And when you're mixing, they give you the clearest, flattest sound. So if you can get your mix to sound good in this, it doesn't matter where you take it after. It'll sound good on your phone. It'll sound good in your car, everything. So that's why I like them. I have another pair up here. These are Mackie. They're just really, really cheap ones. So I tried to get a really, really cheap pair as well. And I can run the mix through there. So if it's sounding really good in here, I know it's going to sound good. Then I try to listen to that one after. And usually it sounds really good. So it's kind of just a reference more than anything. I don't use them that much. Up here we have my in-ears. So I should show you this thing first. This is what controls all my monitors. So these monitors, the volumes and stuff, and my headphones. But there's an headphone right there. You can see this cable right there. That's going into my in-ears up here. And then basically that feeds my wireless in-ears that I'm currently wearing. So I can walk around and do stuff and have that in my ears. It sounds really good. And a lot of bands use it live on stage. You know, they use in-ears. So I don't use it other than when I'm doing live streaming really right now, because when I'm tracking, I like to use my bigger headphones and that kind of stuff. All right, back down here we've got a tuner, we've got a power conditioner, the Furman, and those two boxes I showed you. This is the only pedal really that I have that I'm not using right now. It's an EP booster. So I didn't sell that one yet because I never know if I'm going to need it. It's one of my favorite pedals, so I'm just going to keep it for now. My equalizer pedal is over here, and the only thing that's doing right now, it's feeding into my monitor mix, so my in-ears, and I can adjust the frequencies there if I want to make it, you know, a little bit better sounding. All right, and then we go to this is my main camera. It's an A7R2, a little monitor below it so that I can make sure everything is in focus and see what the shot looks like. And you've got another screen here with the chat, live streaming. Down here we have my Helix. And that box next to the Helix, I don't know if you guys can see that. That's how I mute my mic. If I step on that switch, it mutes it. And there's another switch here, this FS, and that's when I'm recording. Let's say I want to punch in a part of the solo, or I did a screw up and I just want to punch in that part. If I hit that pedal, I punch it in, and I hit it again and it punches out. So it's a quick way to do some quick editing when you're recording. All right, and then we've got my boom thing here. So that's just hooked up to the desk, and that comes up here, so I can adjust that mic, bring it to this side or that side, or all that fun stuff, right? So you guys know what that's all about. And that's just a Wacom tablet. That's how I edit my photos and stuff. I use a tablet with a pen. So here's the little pen thing, and then you just right on there and do all your fine editing and brushes and all that stuff. And there's my computer that runs the whole deal. This is a MacBook Pro, and it's a pretty high-end one with an i9 in it, so it has to be pretty powerful to run all of this stuff and keep everything going. And if you notice, I'm streaming right now. I'm streaming because I can only stream at 480, 360, and I'm getting about only 600 kilobytes up right now, which is very little. But my stream says it's good, so there's just a miscellaneous desk with a bunch of stuff, so a lot of GoPro stuff on this side. I've got to put this new frame thing together So if I do go to NAMM, I'm going to have a little mobile rig that I can do interviews with and stuff. So that's that. And here's my Mesa cab. Not using it at the moment. Still not decided what I want to do, if I want to get a power cab or get a power amp and go through my Helix into that and then run out of my speaker. Just if I ever want to use it, you know, have a speaker in the room, or if I want to go jam with somebody, I can bring that as far as that goes. And there's a bunch of Rode mics, another little mic there, and then some camera stuff. There's the iPhone box. I got the iPhone box out because I am getting the new iPhone, but I need to sell mine, so got the box and everything ready. I'll be doing that in a week or so. And then all the junk down here, and here's my pick collection, which is getting kind of ridiculous at this point. I've settled on the D'Addario Duro something. This one here. What is this one called? D'Addario. I can't even see it on the bag. Dura grips. That's what I've been using the most now for the last couple of weeks, and I really like them. But I've got tons of them. I got everything in there. Some strings, and then here's my fancy dancy camera that kind of froze up on me earlier. That one can move around and do all kinds of fun stuff. That's the one Quentin likes. So I'm set up with that. Here's my more guitars, which is the bass is an Ernie Ball, Stingray, the Sir Telecaster, and the Friedman Vintage S. And they're all hooked up here on this string swing setup. Got a light back there to blind you a little bit. And then some pictures. And here's my R6, and the R9 is down there. And basically here I kind of charge batteries and plug stuff in. This is more my charging station here. There's not much going on over here. Yeah, so there you go, folks. A little tour for you. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me cut back here, and you guys must be getting dizzy. Let me shut this mic and go back to my regular mic. All right, can you hear me now? Cool. All right, let's put this over here. I like that Rode mic, but I think what I'll probably end up doing, you can plug in like a mic there, like, and put it just an external lavalier right here, and have this kind of in your pocket or something, which is probably the way I'll go, because the mic that's built in directly into here, which is what I was using, picks up quite a bit of noise. Like if I was in like a NAMM show or something with this open up like that, I think I would capture way too much ambient sound. Like it's okay to capture some ambient to get it, you know, but I don't know, this is probably too much. So I'm going to try a few different things. But they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool little setups. Oh, and I didn't show you the, let me just cut back for a second. Okay, here we go. This little control surface is really cool. I control my digital workstation as far as recording audio and stuff with that little thing. So there's an actual slider and real buttons and everything. So you don't have to use your mouse. You can actually, you know, record, play, go back and forth. You can arm the tracks, mix with the slider instead of the mouse. So I really like that. It wasn't that expensive to get this thing, and it works really well. It's by PreSonus, and I use the PreSonus software, Studio One, to record. So it was a good companion piece to go with that software. But apparently this can work with all the other softwares. It's just you have to download the right driver for your software, I think. So you can, if you have Cubase or Pro Tools or Logic or anything like that, you can actually work with these interfaces. They're just USB, so they work really well. Anyway, back to regular scheduled programming. I'd like to inform you. Yeah, okay. Where are we? 7:49. Jesus Christ. Yeah, time flies. Time flies, folks. All right, let me go back a little bit here, make sure I didn't miss did I miss anything too high tech? Yeah, some of you are probably looking at this stuff going, what the hell? Nice headlight. Yeah, Headlight is the unit from radio that I can plug all my sources in and have one source out, so I can just switch and mute stuff as needed, which is really, really good. Radial is a Canadian company, and they make tons of studio gear and guitar gear and stuff and they're really, really high quality. I like it. Knickknacks, I know, right? I don't have any knickknacks. The only knickknacks I have is I have Jason Newsted and Kirk Hammett and that little camera thing there. That's about it. So I can't be accused of hoarding knickknacks in my house. If I did a full walkthrough of my house, you'd see there's maybe 2 knickknacks around. I won't allow it. Sorry. Just going through here, just making sure I didn't miss any. Okay, so I'm back there. Let me go back. Again, tag me in the chat if you need to get my attention. Let me put that up here so that you guys know what the hell we're doing. Ben went to get ready for his show, so yeah, tune into Ben's show at 8 o'clock. He's ready to go pretty much. But wait, there's more. Yes, I felt like a game show host or something. Let's see. Who has 3 accounts? We all know who has 3 accounts. Well, if you have 3 accounts, take one of them and go sub to my account or my channel, because I just need one more for the 300, and that way I won't be so OCD about it. Let's see. Jeff Miller's nice tour. I have the Helix LT in the drop and none of the talent. Jeff, come on. Don't say that. But yeah, the Helix LT is really the unit that I've been using for the past, I'd say, 4 or 5 months now. That's my only unit for playing guitar, and I love it. So I'm gonna stick with that for a while. So where's the Tascam 8-track cassette go? I used to have a Tascam back in the day. It was I think it was an 8-track too. Yeah. Yeah, that was what we had to work with back then, and it worked. It was kind of, compared to what we're doing now, is not very efficient, but we used what we had. So many buttons. I know. Once you get working with this stuff, it seems intimidating at first, but once you start piecing it together and understand what is happening with what channel and how things are routed, it makes things a lot easier when you're running your stuff, and then you can basically be more efficient when you're ready to record or doing live streaming or whatever, and you have multiple sources right at your fingertips, so you just, hit a switch and now you're hearing this or you're hearing that, or you can combine a bunch of sources. So if you're doing any live playing with your guitar and you want to jam with some tracks, it just makes things a lot more efficient that way. I know it's a lot to take in when I'm doing a tour like that. You're going, oh my God, I'm not getting this, or you don't need all of this. Obviously you do not. It just depends on what your goals are and how you want to configure stuff. I'm a little bit of the extreme. Every time I get into something, it doesn't matter what it is. I usually push it to a limit, and then I pull back a little bit when I get too far in. But that's just my personality. I mean, if somebody wanted to, they could do a lot of what I'm doing with just the mixer alone and a small interface as far as your audio interface to your computer. And you could achieve so much just with that little setup. But a mixer, I think, is very important, especially if you've got multiple sources and you want to control levels of everything and start to even out your guitar with your backing tracks, with your mic. It just makes a big difference. But if you only had an interface like that, that Apollo Twin is super cool and it can do a lot of stuff. So I look at somebody like Chicken Guitars who plays guitar and sing and stuff. So like a little interface like that is perfect, because you can plug your guitar into one track and the mic into the other and add plugins and real time, no latency or anything of that nature. And it works really well. So there's all kinds of solutions out there. It's just a matter of doing a little research and playing around, doing some looking at reviews and, trying stuff out. You're welcome, Davar. I'm glad to share the studio setup. Like I said, it'll change again probably by the time the new year rolls around. There'll probably be a few things that are reconfigured, or I always come up with as you work with this stuff too, you kind of find what really works, and some stuff you might not even need. So you're able to remove some things and make things a little less complicated if you can. But if you're comfortable with the setup you have, it's really good to keep that going the way it is. Let's see. Cool. Chicken Guitars says you put a lot of effort into your shows. It's really cool. Well, thank you, Chicken Guitars. Thank you. I a lot of effort. Yeah, it's effort, but I'm not anywhere near where I think I should be as far as what I'm producing. Um, it's that building phase right now for me. This year was kind of the goal when we turned into the new year 2019, and I remember being on Dave R's show, or no, I was a show with Jason Wade. We did a show in January, me, Hack, Jason Wade, and I think there was a few other people on there. And one of the things that was asked that night was, "What are your goals in 2019? Where do you want to see your YouTube channel go, and so forth?" And my goal this year was to really focus on the build of the technology and figure out what, be consistent as far as going live. And I have been pretty consistent with every Monday night. So that was really the goal. But I think I have a lot of different things that I want to bring to the table. It's just finding the time. That's the problem, because you work full time and then you come back here and you try to put some time in, and you've got your regular family life that you want to participate in. So it's really a balancing act at this point. But I really appreciate the comment, Chicken Guitars. Getting your feedback like that really it means a lot, because it is a lot of work, and sometimes you you sit back and you wonder, why am I doing this, right? It's just, is it really worth it? But I enjoy doing it. I'm learning something at the same time. I can take a lot of the stuff that I'm doing here personally back to my professional job, like what I do full time as well. So it's a positive thing. But sometimes, man, it's a lot of time invested, money invested, gear. You can take it pretty extreme. Let's see. He still ain't got no. I don't have a Gomer caster. That's if Dave R's guitars can build me a custom, a Les Paul custom with it'd be my special signature. That'd be cool. Just putting it out there. But no, I don't have a Gomer caster. I wish you would have friggin' waited till 6 o'clock. You SOB. Now I got to go back and watch that. It's not the same. I wanted to see it live. I have a Behringer for controlling my DAW. It's a bit old now, starting a bit iffy. The Behringer stuff is really good. It's really, like, the price of it, you'd think it's crap, but it's not. They make some really good gear. I know some friends who are using it as, in the studios and stuff, and they're really good stuff. I know they're not like top of the line, and there's better converters out there and things, but to do the stuff that we're doing, it's fine. I need to get some glowing furniture. Yeah, see, that's another thing I added, that light back there. I have U lights back in my studio where I can change the colors and all this stuff. And on the weekend, I picked up another strip because I wanted to add a little bit of light in the background. And basically, that's a strip you can just put anywhere on the ground or around things, and you can change the color and the brightness and stuff. So I'm just trying it out right now. It's there. I don't know if I want to keep it there or not, but it's there for now. And so it's not glowing furniture, really. Nice. All right. A house with no knickknacks is like sex with a rubber. Oh my God, Quentin. Let's see. Thank you, Chicken Guitars. I set my goals high, and you're killing. Well, I set them high. I don't know about killing it, but I keep trying. I guess you'll never know if you're going to do something if you never try. So I figure I'll probably fail at a bunch of things, but at least I'll get somewhere with something someday. Check your card. Let's see. Oh, geez, an Apollo Twin is only $500. Well, $500 for a good quality interface. When you start to think about it. The other thing you got to understand is I recorded in major studios. Like Metalworks Studios is one of the top studios in Canada, and we did our second album there with Smeer. And when you see the stuff that we were using back then, and the amount of money that cost to produce what we did, $500 for an interface that can do what that like I can get a pretty good quality recording out of that thing. Probably I can match what I was doing when we did Metalworks. Maybe not the engineering part, but the sound and actually the quality converters and everything that are in these interfaces right now. I think, man, when you compare that, it's not a lot. 500 is peanuts when you consider what you're actually getting if you went to a real studio. My goal was to reach 300 subs, and you wonderful people made it possible. Like, there you go. My goal is 300 subs too, and I was just missing one. I can't see in my. Somebody can check my my subscriber count and let me know in the chat because I can't see it for some reason. But I was only one away today, so hopefully I reached it today. I'm not sure if it is. Let's be passion, like your music, a lot of time for no pay. Yeah, we're not making any money at this, folks. Well, some of us might make some. I'm making zero, and I'm not asking for any pity on that part. I got myself into this, and I'm just gonna keep pushing on. But as far as this being a money making venture, no, don't kid yourself. I mean, there's some channels that do very well that get hundreds of thousands of subscribers and lots of views per month, and you know, if you're doing it full time and you can start to build. Some of these channels have been around for a long time too. It took them a while to get to that number, and even at that point, I think the revenue model is not what a lot of people think. You know, you hear these stories on the news. Oh, this kid made $1 million because he's on YouTube. Yeah, okay, that's a 1 in a million type of situation. So, but it's one of these things. You do it because you love it, and if good things come of it, that's great. If it doesn't matter because you're still doing something you love. So that's the way I look at it. I just want to play and not think of all the gear. Yeah, I feel that way sometimes, but I'm fortunate that the gear is working for the most part. So when I come in here, I can just pick up a guitar and I can play, and I have fun doing it. So, but I hear you. Let's see. All right, so it's 8 o'clock. Just refresh 299 subs on your. So somebody in here has got to be not subbed to my channel, and if you all are subbed to my channel and you know somebody, just give them a call and say, hey, just one sub. That's all I'm asking for. After that, I'm not even going to ask for any more subs. I just want to see the 300 so I can get that out of my brain. All right, let's see. Okay, so here we go. We're done. I want to thank everybody. I'm glad some of this stuff worked out. I'm sorry about the frozen camera in the beginning, but you know, that's that type of stuff is going to happen from time to time. Let me do this right there. Cool. And pull that down. And cool. So thanks for jumping in, folks. Next week, again, 7 o'clock Monday night. Hope everybody has a great week. I'm sure we're going to see each other in some of the other chats and stuff. And is there anything else I wanted to announce? No, there's nothing really. I'm not... I might do another stream this week if I have time. I usually do like an afternoon stream on Thursday or Friday, depending on what's going on. If I do, just, you know, you'll get the notification and jump in. There's still some stuff I'm toying with, like maybe showing off some recording software and how that works together with the streaming and that type of thing. So for any people here that might want to get more in depth with that stuff, maybe that'd be a good time to do that kind of content. But it's a little bit of oh, I got a new subscriber, Soda. So I think I just reached 300. Thank you. We did it, folks. Hey, 300. Yeah. There we go. So I can sleep tonight. Thank you. 301. Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. And again, yeah, just watch for the notifications if I do go live this week again in the afternoon or something like that, and I'll come up with some cool content that we can do. I don't have any videos planned this week as far as like produced videos. So, but you never know. When I get in the mood for doing a cover song or whatever, I jump in and just go for it. So, could happen. Who knows? YMCA, folks. Everybody up. Let's do a dance. We reached 300. Score 301. Quentin, I don't know if I'm going to forgive you just yet, but I'll think about it. I'm sure I'll get over it. 302. Wow. Now we're on a roll. I think once we pass that 300 barrier, we're just going to rocket up to the 300,000 mark in a couple of months. Right. All right, folks. Have a great week, and we will catch you next week, if not sooner. All right. So take care and enjoy the rest of the good weather, hopefully, that we get. It's been raining like a couple of days here, so hopefully we get some good weather coming again soon. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.